Kennedy was the first president born in the 20th century. He said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." In 1942, a group of civil rights advocates founded the Congress of Racial Equality, CORE, on the University of Chicago campus. The creation of CORE marked the beginning of a mass movement for civil rights. Kennedy supported racial integration and civil rights, and during the 1960 campaign, he telephoned Coretta Scott King, wife of Martin Luther King Jr., which perhaps drew some additional black support to his candidacy. John Robert Kennedy's intervention secured the early release of King from jail. As President Kennedy initially believed, the grassroots movement for civil rights would only anger many Southern whites and make it even more difficult to pass civil rights laws through Congress, and he distanced himself from it. As a result, many civil rights leaders viewed Kennedy as unsupportive. On Friday, November 22, 1963, President Kennedy was shot and died in a hospital a few hours later.
After Kennedy's assassination on November 22, 1963, his vice president, Johnson, became president and was inaugurated on Air Force One. After the incident in Birmingham, President Kennedy created a strong civil rights bill which he presented to Congress, but Congress didn't pass it until Johnson was president. Johnson became president in 1963 after Kennedy's assassination, but was formally elected in 1964. Johnson met with Martin Luther King Jr. on many occasions. In 1967, Johnson nominated Thurgood Marshall to be the first African American Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 outlawed unequal application of voter registration and racial segregation in schools and the workplace, also in many other public places.